Welcome to Techmark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for Techmark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect, join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Techmark Pod. So today's episode probably is going to be the last episode of season 2, 2025. I started this podcast last in November 2024, and now we've done how many? 20, 40, 41 episodes. And I'm going to take a little bit of a rest, and then I'll be building the podcast studio. And definitely I'll see you next year. But before we go, our last and hopefully our last guest for this year, Yvonne, is here. Hi, Yvonne. Welcome to Techmark Pod.
Hello, Alvin. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Cool. I've been waiting to have this conversation with you. I kind of relate to your experience. I kind of relate to what you have done and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, what I've done differently now with the podcast, Yvonne, is I kind of like refer to back to your LinkedIn profile so that I can read out your profile, to the listeners or the viewers, basically, so that they can have an understanding of who is Yvonne, because that will do justice to who you are rather than you reintroduce yourself. Sometimes you miss some certain points. You know what I mean? So so
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we go. Who's Yvonne Majata? So I'm going to ask you another question, Yvonne, right? There's an extension to your name on LinkedIn, fd.iodz. What does it mean before I even go further? What does that mean?
All right. That means I'm a future director and I was trained by the Institute of Directors Zimbabwe. That's where I got my certification for directorship from.
Oh, look, people put different extensions on LinkedIn, and some of them I don't even know them. So that's why I had to clarify what does this mean, right? But let's get into
Yeah,
who is
later.
uh yeah. So let's talk about who's Yvonne Majata, right?
Sure.
Yvonne, you talk about you help business unlock clarity, build momentum, achieve sustainable growth through strategy, structure, and smart networking. You have a master's in strategic management, right?
Yeah, sure.
A deep understanding of corporate governance, is ESG principles. You are passionate about supporting organizations to make informed decisions and drive lasting impact. Your key areas of expertise, right? Strategic planning and execution for SMEs, governance frameworks and ESG integration, leadership development and mentoring, business advisory and operational improvement. You actively exploring opportunities to contribute your skills in advisory and non-executive capacities, helping boards and organizations strengthen governance strategy and long-term value creation. That's you in a nutshell.
All right, that's fine. You spoke about what I intend to do, but maybe I also need to tell you where I'm coming from.
Yep.
I'm an experienced customer experience personnel. I've been doing this job since I was a little girl. I started working at 19, and that's when I started to work with customers. But most of my experience came from working at a telecoms company where I worked for 15 years. I learned how to work with customers, I learned how to calm down angry customers, and I learned what needs to be done to retain customers. In terms of strategy, because I was working with customers, customers get easily bored. It ignited a passion in me to come up with strategic ideas that will lock up the customers, that will keep the customers loyal to the organization. And now, funny enough, I realized that the strategy is not only limited to customer experience, it's not only limited to telecoms, it's anything and everything. As long as I've got the information, I give myself thinking time, then I have a strategic map for any organization.
So tell me, if you started at 19, right? So does it mean that you went into the work environment before you went to tertiary, or how did you do it?
Absolutely. When I finished my A level, I didn't pass as I
Yeah.
expected. To be honest, I had 5 points. And my father said, go and do any degree. And I said to him, no, that's not what I want. So one of my cousins then reached out and they told me that there was an insurance company which needed a trainee underwriter. It really sounded fancy to me. The word underwriter, I had never heard of it. And then I went to this company.
Yeah.
They said, we'll teach you on the job. So I
Okay.
started working. Yes. And I decided to do the basic certificate of proficiency in insurance. Then a few years later, I then got interested in marketing. One of the colleagues I was working with then said, no, but I did marketing with the Institute of Marketing, South Africa. You can try that. You can be working and going to school in the evening. That sounded perfect for me because I didn't want to leave work. I was enjoying the few extra pizza money that I was getting at the end of every month. So that's when I then did EBA marketing with the Institute of Marketing Management.
So actually, it brings me back my other discussion in another episode with a gentleman called Shaumo. So we were talking
Okay.
about. Do you think that possibly from high school, students should transition to go to work environment before they even go to tertiary, or they should go to tertiary? What do you think?
I think it depends on an individual. I struggled with emotional intelligence. I was such a crybaby. If reports were asked for, I would think it was personal. Allow me to use Shona, say Kubasa Kurowe Munu. Because I was coming from high school, I just felt like you're
Yeah.
punished for not something. So I think if they can get a gap year just to learn emotional intelligence, to learn what to say and what not to say in the workplace, maybe a bit of grooming before joining the corporate world would go a long way. But if someone is mature enough to take a role, why not?
So for 15 years, you slept, eat, and customer service. That's all you knew, basically, right?
Definitely. I ended up knowing what to say to a customer, even offline. If they would ask me some things, I would then say to someone, click there, click that on the system, because that was my life for 15 years.
Yeah. So let's talk about the article that you wrote, Changing Face of Customer Service, of course, being impacted by AI.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like the way that you articulated in that article and you gave real experience examples of when you were actually a customer service agent and getting worried if you're going to lose a job. And this is a topic of today where everyone is getting worried that's going to be replaced by robots. So yeah.
So, Alvin, what's happening right now is people are fighting and resisting AI. But to me, it's more of an enabler or an enhancement to who you are. AI is not fighting us. We are supposed to be in collaboration with AI and work together. That's what I think. Going back to my article, remember I mentioned that one of the things that was like a major highlight was over scratched cards. And that was the most frequent call by that time, where people would over scratch the card and then they can't see other recharge keys. Then automation came.
Wait a minute. I want to ask something. So it brings a different topic now, right?
Oh, okay.
Overscratched cards. Isn't this a failure in product from the telecom company? If it was an incident that was recorded many times within a call center environment, would we blame the people or the customers that are using the recharge cards, or it's a failure of the company providing a proper product or an easy to use product in a way?
Okay, it's two things, Alvin. Remember,
Yeah.
customers do what's convenient to them. They are told to
Yeah.
buy cards and scratch with a
Yeah.
coin. They scratch with a sharp object. Or rather, someone gets
Um,
rained on and then they want to try and scratch a wet card. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see the recharge keys. On the other hand,
yeah.
that's where quality control then comes in, where we also assess as a service provider to see if the company that's giving us the recharge key cards are doing a good job, or maybe there is need for improvement on terms of the quality of the cards that they dispatch to the market. Because most of the time,
Mm,
when you buy a recharge card, you are in a rush, the airtime is needed there and there. So
yeah,
you would find that people
yeah,
would do anything if they just pick something that's close to them, even a stone, as long as it can scratch off the panel.
definitely. No, that's
Yeah.
quite an interesting also conversation when it comes to digital transformation, where they've done away with the recharge cards altogether and getting it
You see now.
make it easy for them to recharge their phone. But let's go ahead with your article.
Yeah. Fast forward years later, there was automation. It came, and if you look at it now, you can recharge your phone from your bank account. You don't even need a recharge key. You just recharge, money is
Mm,
credited in your account. You can recharge using EcoCash. You can recharge, you can actually do a lot of things without interacting with the airtime vendor. On the other hand, if you overscratch the card, now telecoms companies have a way of getting everything to be done from your phone. You dial a USSD, they ask for the first recharge key. So it's now interactive. The USSD gives you what to do next, what to do next till you get your recharge key. So now you'd find that the person, the person who was working in the call center, that would be me that was 2010. Yeah, that would be me. It means that your job is either on the threat or there is something better waiting for you. Because we used to have a target, hey? So if you've got five
mm,
overscratched cards, it means 5 consecutive calls. You are pushing your target. What now happens when there are no people? How is my performance going to be measured when there is no longer that interaction for the recharge key? There's no longer that recording to check if I interacted with the customer well. So yeah, AI is here to stay with us and it's there to help us.
mm. That's that's quite interesting. So you actually mentioned that as a customer agent, you feared for your job, and then you transitioned from being a customer service to I think it was more of a relationship manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you speak a little bit more about relationship management?
Okay. So now when I moved from the phone, remember when you're a customer a call center agent, interaction is on the phone. You don't show emotions. If you frown, the customer won't see. There isn't that warm interaction with the customer. However, as a relationship manager, it's now a human being to a human being. You are seeing the customer face to face. And let's agree, it's not just about the business that we do with customers. Probably you're going to call a customer and then they're going to tell you that they're in hospital. Now that needs empathy, right? You've called them, you've heard
Yeah.
that they're in hospital. The next thing you're going to ask is, are you comfortable with me visiting you at the hospital? That's an extra mile
Mhm.
because you've already built a relationship. And when you visit someone who's in hospital, they'll think, but this person left their busy schedule just to come and see me, just to see how I'm doing. That's a whole new experience altogether. You can have someone assisting you with the next company. For instance, in telecoms, we also deal with companies that sell devices. Just having someone extending a helping hand to say, if you need a handset that can use an eSIM, let me connect you to Apple Store. Then Apple Store will give you a specific handset. That's a connector that's coming from human interaction. So it's not like the job
Mm.
is really replaced, but you've just been given an opportunity to do better and show that you're a human
Yeah.
being, you are empathetic rather, and also that you love what you do with your customers.
So my experience with customer service started probably I think it was year 2003, maybe, yeah, at Edgar's.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I learned a lot about customer service in a way that it teaches you about consumer behavior and how people relate to you and how you keep them coming back because they want to make a conversation with you, even when people always come back to the store to pay their accounts, they look forward to come and talk to me and have a little bit of a chat. Hi Alvin, how are you doing, and all that stuff. And by then, I think I was a very young man, just came from, from high school and awaiting to go to university. One thing that was outstanding and actually interesting was I had locks, and it was not
Okay.
a popular thing.
The usual
So
stereotype.
I had dreadlocks, but they were smaller than these because these ones are big now. And coming out of a small town, I remember my manager was like, "But are you sure this is gonna work? Because I mean, these are old guards,
I know.
you know, and we were the new generation. You understand?
Mm-mm.
In as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
as you don't understand the Generation Z now, that's exactly what was happening back then. You know what I mean?
Big them.
So the question to you is, what makes a good customer service agent?
The word that came to my mind first is aura. How is your aura like
Okay.
when you talk to the next person? Because
Yeah.
just a few minutes ago, I spoke to someone and they saw a young man, and then he said he's a doctor. So this man is quite mature. He's in his late 50s. He just looked at his frame. And sadly, the doctor was concentrating on the phone. So he gave a
Yeah.
conclusion that he's a doctor by book. He doesn't know what he's doing. So for one to be
Yeah.
really a customer experience person, I think it comes with aura, it comes with passion. You really can't do this
Uh-huh.
job if you don't like talking, if you don't like people. You need to like people because people are going to come from different backgrounds. One is going to come looking very good, very sharp, very clean. Then you're going to have another person coming sweaty, not dressed in a way that you like, but you still need to give them good service. And remember, they always say people will remember you for how you made them feel. It's never about what you did for them,
Yeah.
how you made them feel. So your aura and passion, those are key for you to be able to take up this role.
And you know what? I'm actually thinking. So right now we have a lot of startups, right?
Yes,
Do
yes.
they consider customer service as a key element within their business structure?
Sadly, things have changed. People just think
Mm.
you're the one who wants my service. So you will have to bow down to what I want. I recently had an incident with one young lady where I wanted some cosmetic done, and then I had $100 note. She said to me, go to the shops and look for change, then come back. Me, that was mean because there were three people in the shop. She could have said, ma'am, we're going to start the process. Meanwhile, one of my colleagues is going to go and look for change for you. So it was more like, you want my service, do as I do what I'm going to tell you to do. It's not about you
Mm.
coming. I can be their advocate. I can promote their business. I can be an unpaid ambassador. So I think startups need to understand that business is not about money, but it's about creating
Yeah.
loyal customers. It's about locking the customers, making them want to come to you, making them look forward to the next time they're going to see you. You see, there are some hairdressers where you can go there feeling low, but you leave feeling very beautiful and very much alive because of their service.
Interesting, because I really wonder if people include the founders, if they include customer service as part of their business strategy, right? So after 15 years, Yvonne, doing customer service, you then went into the pursuit of probably happiness. I don't know, but you left customer service, and then what are you doing at the moment? What exactly do you do for SMEs?
Okay. Right now, I'm doing strategy formulation, like I mentioned earlier on. And I'm also offering customer experience training. I believe what I learned
Mhm.
from the past 15 years is something that I cannot die with, God forbid. I need to share it to the next generation. You know, I read interesting articles where someone will say, I went to the bank and then I interacted with a Generation Z customer personnel and they told me, "Zayendwa," meaning I cannot do anything else. And to me, that's
Yeah.
scary because how can you say that to a customer? We need this person, we need their money, we need their business. So I'm also offering customer experience training. I might not be the best, but I believe I've got something to share, something that can change other organizations for the best.
So I'm gonna take you back again, all right? So
Sure.
For anybody who's listening, let's say presumably someone who's got a startup and a new company or has got an existing company. When you say strategy formulation, what do you mean? Because strategy formulation, it doesn't mean that it's something that everyone understands. What do you mean by strategy formulation? And I want you to take us through how do you assist us as SMEs.
All right, that's fine. So you know what happens? Sometimes you just think, I'm good at selling tomatoes, so I should start a tomato business. But you also need to look at, do you have the market for the tomatoes? Are you to grow them, or you're going to be buying them from someone else? Do you have what we call a business case, where you say, I'm going to invest 10,000 into this tomato business and I am expecting a return on investment? Are you expecting a return on investment in the first 2 weeks, where you say, I'm a tomato kufamba, now let me try onions? Or maybe you need to give
Mm.
yourself some time. Do you have a roadmap? You know, we always learn about goal setting, but we just think that it's about saying, I have to sell 10 kgs of tomatoes. But do you have a time frame for the tomatoes that you are selling? Do you have a market? Are you going to be selling to anyone and everyone? Because I don't want to buy tomatoes from the roadside. I prefer seeing them in a nice package in a refrigerated space. So those are the things that we then look and say, is it a viable business, or it's something that you just heard from your neighbor? You just heard that they made money. Do you know the secret behind how they are growing? Lately, everyone thinks they want to sell hair. But to me, I think you cannot just sell hair. Do you understand the hair? Do you have the customers? Are you going to get a return on investments on your investment? And are you prepared to have sleepless nights? Because business is not for the faint hearted, to be honest. Are you prepared to go
Yeah.
out there and network with people? Tell them what you do, so that you build what we call a top of mind awareness, to say, if I want to buy tomatoes, I think of Alvin. Even if he's in Mutoko, I would drive to Mutoko because Alvin has been selling tomatoes and he's the best in the game. So basically, that's what I would do in a nutshell.
Let's talk about golf. You started playing golf
Yes.
and you dropped the sport and then you came back again and you're almost like a masters now. Tell me more about your golf journey.
I will never be a pro unless I'm going to commit every other day to my goal.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what happened. So, some years back, we used to host golf days and we used to take our customers to play golf. But we would do the
Yeah.
registration, give them the collateral, the golf shirt, and everything else, and stay by the desk, the registration desk. Then one of our managers said, but do you realize that people spend 4 hours on the course with your customers? You are allowing your customers to be entertained by other people. Yet that's the reason for you to that's why we actually opted to sponsor golf. That's why we decided to have the golf day. Who is taking care of your customers in the 4 hours that they are on the course? So I then took it upon myself. We had lessons, but unfortunately, the pro who was teaching us had to relocate. Then on the course, I met friends and they invited me to play golf with them. So as we were playing golf, what would happen is I was really bad and I would feel like I should give up. This is not my thing. Because golf will make you question your intelligence, to be honest. You would think,
Mm.
am I that dumb? Because you can't be controlled by that little ball, but yeah, trust me, it does. You hit it thinking I'm going straight,
Yeah.
it will go the other side. That's if you even hit it hard. And sometimes you actually don't know which club to use. You actually don't know what to do. It improves as you play consistently. So at some point, I quit because I could not afford to pay subscriptions. Neither could the member subscriptions for the golf clubs. Or I was also having a challenge with paying green fees. So I sort of quit.
Mm.
Then late 2022, met a lady who planned a girls' trip to go and play golf in Aberfoyle. That's Honde Valley there. It really sounded bougie and
Yeah.
interesting. So I went. And then she
Yeah.
said to me, you need to play this game more often. I took it upon myself to have the initiative at work. and other people came on board. So I moved from someone who wanted to quit to someone who would draw life lessons from the golf game. Because golf teaches you strategy, it teaches you resilience, it teaches you tenacity, it teaches you patience. You know, one of my friends said,
Mm.
you can't be executive and you tell me you want to give up on hole number 15 because you are tired. If the car is burning, if the company is burning, are you going to quit because the company
Mm.
is burning? Or you're going to think of a strategy to extinguish the fire and have the company going? So it really spoke to me.
Wow.
So this is why I enjoy golf. And well, I started off as a very high handicap. I'm still a high handicap, but at least I'm
Yeah.
winning prizes. That's something to smile about.
Oh, wow. No, congratulations. Because I tried golf
Thank
a few years ago. I think 2 years ago, probably. I think I played for a year and I suck at golf. So I'm not gonna go there at the moment, but I'll try to do it socially. But yeah, it's a different game for me. You know what I mean? So
Just a
I
note,
understand
Alvin.
that you say what?
Just a side note on golf.
Yeah, yeah.
I recently met someone and they were talking at a networking event. They said network with purpose.
Mm.
So if you feel like you are struggling in golf, start networking with purpose. Play with those who play good golf. They will motivate you to play
Mm.
better. Don't give up. It's a good game.
Okay. I still have the equipment, so it's okay.
That's a plus.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do, right? Maybe 2026, we'll see what I can do, right? Maybe take the
We are
podcast to the
miles
golf
away.
as well. Yeah. So I understand you're an avid book reader and you spoke passionately about reading books. And I'm trying to understand. So is it because you started working at 19 and you just become very hungry of reading books and success followed up? What made you become an avid book reader?
I owe this one to my late mom. May she rest in peace. So, you know, my mom from the
Yeah.
young age when I was in primary school, she joined the library because she learned somewhere that if you want to improve your language, if you want to improve your creativity, you need to read books. So she joined the library and then she would send me every Saturday. We would listen to a story. They would read a story for us. Then we would borrow books. And then she would ask me what I would have read. And then when we did our ZJC, I remember very well, we were the last group to write that examination when I was in Form 2. She made sure that I
Mm.
always had a book by Danielle Steele or The Pace Setters because she used to work at a high school, so she had access to these books. So that thing just
Yeah.
got to me where whenever I felt idle, I would think of reading. So now, whenever I see a magazine, an article online, or I get into a bookshop, I always look for a book. At some point, I remember it was on my budget where I would say I'll read 3 to 4 books in a month. And funny enough, I used to do it very well. I would dedicate an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and I would take notes. I love taking notes. I always have a notebook close by, or I write on my phone. So this has really helped me in terms of creativity. It has helped me in terms of thinking. Like they say, if you read a lot, you're exercising the brain muscle. Just like if you go to the gym lifting weights, you will exercise your other muscles.
Yvonne, before I let you go, I want you to talk about the events that you do. I think you're currently doing events at the moment, so I think let's narrow down to those events and what you're doing for your customers, and possibly yeah, tell us how then they can reach out to you in case they need to be part of these events.
Okay. So I've got quite a lot that I'm involved in. I'm a life coach, a certified life coach. Please not, I don't tell people
Yeah.
what to do with life. I just hold their hand and help them see where they want to go. I know people are so skeptical about life coaching, but I've realized that it's a passion that is in me where I hold someone's hand till we get to where they want to get to. If they are going to follow the stages, because we will be more like accountability partners. So the events that I'm doing, some are centered on personal development.
Just a quick one there. Just a quick question, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but on the life coach, I just wanted to understand more. what it entails. Life coach and a mentor, what is the difference?
So with a mentor, they're walking you through the journey and they're helping you avoid the mistakes that they made in life. It's more like on a real life experience, right? And then with
Right.
coaching, it's someone who has built up systems that they believe they will work. So it's not necessarily on their life experience, but they'll tell you, I read the 5 a.m. club and they said the secret to getting your things done is waking up early and mastering the day early in the morning. Let's try not to sleep in. Let's make use of the first hour of the day. So you're now holding someone's hand, someone who says, I have a problem. I sleep at 3 a.m. and I wake up at 5 a.m. You're saying, no, you need to rest for you to be effective in the next day. So you're just sharing nuggets that will keep them going. It's not like they don't know what they're supposed to do. They do know, but
Yeah.
they need someone who affirms or someone who encourages them to move in the direction that they desire to move in.
Okay. Thank you. You can go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying with these events, I have a passion for women. I grew up with a very low self-esteem, and sadly, in my teenage years, I was also told I faced quite a lot of body shaming. Not that I was fat. Oh, that's a wrong word. Not that I was big, but some people just felt that they needed to comment on my body, and it really affected me till I got to a point where I would hide. Whenever I would get into any room, I would look for the back seat. I wanted to be a backbencher because I was not confident on myself. But then it took away many opportunities from me. And I thought to myself, if this affected me like this, probably there are other people who are also going through the same. Why not have trainings on personal development, the power of showing up, the power of networking, and then confidence coaching. I also look at grooming and etiquette, where we look at how you can speak without saying any word. So these are the events that I'm doing mainly around women and young ladies who have just graduated, because I know the struggles that come with um, transitioning from university to the corporate space.
True. I think that's great because definitely young people struggle when they transition to the corporate space because it's a different ball game altogether from university. So are these all the trainings that you're offering at the moment?
Yes, I also do mental wellness. Why? Because during
Yeah.
COVID, I went through the biggest blow of my life because I was so scared with COVID. I was so scared of COVID to the extent that I sort of lost my mind. I just created things, like just had imaginations that would mess with my mind. And that made me keen. I then did a diploma on mental health and stress management. And I then learned that the mind is a powerful tool. And what you tell yourself is what manifests. So this is another area that I'm so passionate about, where I've seen people getting depressed because they can't go to another wedding wearing the same dress. They can't go to 15 interviews wearing the same suit, or they are tired of attending interviews and there is no result. So mental wellness is actually another thing that I'm so passionate about. And then a new
Mm,
baby, because of reading,
yeah.
I always get things. I'm so interested in ESG, environmental sustainability and governance. This came after my certification with future directors. And then I started looking at things that make the organization sustainable, because it's not just about solar power, it's not just about anti-pollutants. There's more to it, there's more
Yeah.
to employee wellness. How can it make the organization sustainable? There are things like inflation. How are we going to survive in a VUCA environment? These are things that I'm also studying and looking at. I'm not yet qualified to train on ESG, but I really love the topic, and it's something that I keep myself busy with. I always want to see how banks are presenting their sustainability reports, how these reports are
Mm,
made. Yeah, and also I'm going to learn how to make the reports, because part of strategy, I think it coins in ESG.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to Techmark Pod. I think I appreciate what you're doing, and whoever's listening, I'm sure they would want to get in touch with you because you're really touching on very, very important topics. Do you have any parting words, or maybe I'm asking more than you have actually
No,
said?
it's fine. It's fine. I think my parting shots will be whatever you set your mind to do, do it. Don't think
Mm,
that you're too old to start something, and don't consult people. As long as you've got a conviction in your heart, please go for it. I finished my degree some years ago, I think 12 years ago, and I did my master's 12 years later. And I still feel that it was not a wrong move, it was the right time. I also did the master's degree when my mom was in hospital. I submitted part of my dissertation topics when she had passed away. We buried her on Saturday, and Monday I had to submit. So whatever you set your heart to do, please don't let obstacles stand in your way. I think that would be my last shot.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Thank you, everyone, for watching Techmark Pod for the past year. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share these episodes with your friends and family. We'll hope to see you again next year in 2026, every Monday at 10 o'clock. See you again on the next episode.